Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
You all right over there? Your dial up
for a second. I'm sorry.
Your dial up extra slow today over there? Did you not get your new AOL CD in the mail?
It was hot today, Dominic. I am drained.
It was a hot one today.
It was hot.
Yeah,
and after that storm the other night or yesterday, whenever it was, we had upwelling, and the water is now cold or colder.
It feels good. Sometimes I think it just gets hotter and the water stays the same temperature, and you just feel different because you're hotter getting into the water. But I know my kids came back from morning sports camp today, and they have been exhausted all day. So, good job, morning.
It drains you.
Yes, I applaud the morning sports and all Ocean City Rec and their counselors for tiring out my children. So thank you. I appreciate that very much.
OC Rec department is 1 in a million.
Yes,
they do fantastic from top to bottom.
They do a great job.
Yes, they do.
So much so that May 1st here is a bit of it's like Black Friday is what I would be an equivalent to May 1st, trying to get your kids signed up for camp from between, the summer vacationers to the locals to the natives. Everybody's trying to get into one of these camps. So, but if you've been and you go and there's a reason it's like Black Friday. So,
yes.
So Drew, man, the secret's out. It's out there. Your idea for this little podcast about Ocean City has grown some legs, and we're getting some traction here, man. Getting this beautiful feature on the Ocean City Daily, OCNJ Daily, pardon me. So thank you to them for promoting us. We appreciate it very much.
That's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let me know when we hit 1 million views.
I will for sure. But, thank you to all of you that have listened up until this point. And if you're new here and it's your first time listening, welcome. As we said in the beginning, we're your hosts, we're your local guys, and we'll fill you in on everything that's happening here in Ocean City. So,
and today's a good one. I mean, we're going to talk about the best beach or beaches in America's greatest family resort, and that's why most people are here, right?
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny, we came up with a whole list before we started this of episodes, and this one kind of just hit us out of nowhere. Like, why not do the best beach? Like, come on, it's right in front of your face. You didn't even see it.
I think it was let's why not do the best beach? Duh.
Yeah, right? Like, common sense, guys. And ironically, I did a little homework here, and someone did try to do it, but it was almost like 7 or 8 years ago now was the last time they really listed what they thought were the best beaches in Ocean City. So we'll see how our list compares to theirs when we're all done. But the title, The Greatest and the Greatest, comes from
the greatest.
Well, I put the greatest in the greatest. So that's where we are with my grammatical Grammarly did not catch me on that one. So we're stuck with the greatest and the greatest.
You went to mainland, so it's close enough. That's an A for you.
It's A+, honor roll, all that stuff. National Honor Society, I'm there.
That's right.
And the reason for that is because Ocean City consistently, year in and year out, wins best beach in some aspect of America, if not the world, which is pretty impressive. For instance, this year in 2023, man, I'm off tonight. Don't even know what year it is. In 2023, we were voted the best beach in the Northeast by, I believe it is USA Today. So USA Today Readers Poll is what it is. New Jersey is the number one beach in the Northeast. It says Ocean City in New Jersey features a wide sandy shoreline that stretches for about 8 miles along the Atlantic Ocean. With a family-friendly atmosphere, there are lifeguards on duty during the summer season and various amenities available to make it safe and convenient for families. When you need a break, adjacent to the beach is a lively and bustling boardwalk that is lined with dining, shopping, and entertainment options.
So that's going to come into play. So we talked about factors. It's not just a, hey, I like this beach. There's factors involved in choosing the best beaches. And the factors that we included, and there may be others, but the factors that we included was um, access to bathrooms, um,
Huge, huge, especially if you have kids.
or wife, access to food nearby. Doesn't have to be on the beach, but or on the boardwalk, but could be nearby. Um, a feet rinsing on the way off the beach. That's big. Um, ability to surf and ability to fish. So
Ooh,
those are kind of our top 5 factors in choosing the best beach.
yeah. Those are some good factors. Those are definitely important things to consider when you are picking your spot for the day or for the summer, or for a lifetime, because that's where you're going to make those memories with your family. And it's those special qualities that sometimes, are the ones that live on forever. So,
And there's
um,
people who have gone to the same beach for 40, 50, 60, 70 years, right? Their family owned a home on wherever, and they like the Dougherty family. The Dougherty family
not
owns
my family.
no, no, I'm sorry, different Dougherty family. A Dougherty family that I grew up with. 11 kids, have a home on West Avenue for I don't know how long. It's at more than 50 years they've owned the home.
Wow.
And the Doughertys go to Penland Place and nowhere else. They go to Penland. That's their beach. And that's one of countless number of family stories that they have their beach, right?
And it is funny, just kind of like the Ocean City has its 11 distinct neighborhood. It has its 4 separate zones that make up the beach, this 8-mile stretch of beach. And I use that 4 zone term because that's the way the Ocean City Beach Patrol celebrating their 125th anniversary this year. So big banner year for them. They recently won the Atlantic City Classic races, which is great news. They,
That's a big race.
yeah, the 70s, 80s, even the 90s and early 2000s, Ocean City had one of the dominant competition teams in South Jersey, and they've been in kind of a little bit of a lull here. So it's great to see them come back and win one of the first major races here in the South Jersey Chiefs Association. So I believe the Dutch Hoffman's down in Wildwood is going on right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out later. But the Beach Patrol, obviously having to guard 8 miles of beautiful beaches, they have to break it all up. You can't just have this massive operation all under one headquarters. So they break it up into 4 zones: first zone, second zone, third zone, fourth zone. Keep it simple, right?
And there's 40 guarded beaches in within those 4 zones. We also have that are not guarded areas. We have the very southern tip of the island, which is Corson's Inlet State Park, and Corson's Inlet features oceanfront beach, and they also have the Bay Beach, the Bayside Beach.
That place is really cool. If you've never been back there, as you're going off the island, like as you're heading to Strathmere, you can park there, and there's a beach there, and for $12, you can launch your boat. You can do whatever you need to do. If you're going to launch anything, a kayak or whatever, it's $12. Or at least that was the fee a couple of years ago.
There's trails through the what I consider maritime forest because it's pretty thick back there. There's a rail trail back there. The beach is really good fishing. The beachfront is beautiful, unguarded. a beautiful beach. So that's the south end. And then you also have the north end from the last jetty on the island, the northernmost jetty on the island, around the point to the Longport Bridge is unguarded. And
they re-implemented Seaview Road. Seaview, the first beach after that jetty, there's a lifeguard now. There was for a long time, then they got rid of it for a long time. In the past couple of years, they just bought it back. So just north of that one beach, all the way around is unguarded.
Okay, Dominic, you have to pay attention to pre-production when I told you my wife gave me strict orders not to mention Seaview Beach in this podcast. And what's the first beach you mentioned is Seaview Beach.
Kier, I'm sorry.
On the eve, you say.
I do apologize. I do apologize.
I'm caught just flat out lying on our podcast.
Listen. You know, I didn't know that was the actual one that you wanted to protect, your secret. I think it will remain a secret because it's kind of hard to find that road. So
it is. It truly is.
It's back in the gardens where not everything's laid out in a grid. So if you can find it, good luck to you.
Well, as a warning, you may not want to find it because beginning at Seaview all the way around to the Longport Bridge is part of the state of New Jersey's protected bird nesting areas, the piping plover and the least tern nest there. So you have to walk a country mile to get to the water and park your chair. And just as an aside, the reason I know those two birds is because I got busted last year walking my dog out to the point on a Sunday morning, and I got a 10-minute lecture by the forest ranger. Who would think that a government employee would be out there at 7:30 on a Sunday morning? But that's my luck, and I got caught.
You got busted.
Yeah. So and also that area north to the actual point of the island you're getting into the inlet.
Yes.
It's super, super dangerous, guys. Please don't swim there. The last couple years we've seen, I think it's either 2 or 3, it might be 3. It is 3, as a matter of fact, now I'm thinking about it. 3 people have drowned there. Walk a little bit around to a guarded beach, or even walk, if you have to, walk back toward the Longport Bridge, but not in the inlet, please. It's the currents are crazy, and 3 people have drowned in the last couple of years. So please be careful. Yes, so that's that area, and then south of the Longport Bridge is a 2-block bay beach that was a secret beach up until COVID hit. And then when COVID hit and, people were out of work and really watching their dollars, and our government, I wanted to slam Joe Biden for all of his giveaways, was giving all this money away, and people were coming to the shore and renting jet skis and, doing whatever they're doing. That beach, that 2-block stretch of beach became super crowded because no beach tag. It's not guarded. There's no taggers. So people went there for free. And I have to say, Dom, it's terrible the way people that go to that beach treat that beach. I went down there July 5th, and it was like a recycling trash truck backed up and dumped everything right on that beach. It was absolutely terrible. So
no one likes a dirty beach, Drew.
No, and I'm imploring Mayor Gillian, please, Mr. Mayor, send beach taggers down there. I'll pay for them.
Drew, how about this? How about we just put some trash cans back there?
There are cans, Dom. There are 4. There's 2 trash cans and 2 recycling cans, and people are too darn lazy to walk off the beach with their trash. They leave it right there.
You are going on July 5th, which, it's probably like going, that's probably the worst day you could go and assess the trash on the beach. I mean, you could pretty much have gone to any beach in Ocean City, and the beach itself might not be trash, but the trash cans would be overflowing with God knows what, absolutely. Pizza boxes, everything from there. So, Mayor Gillian, I implore you to keep that what it is and let it be its thing. It has grown in popularity, though.
It has.
Bringing my dog back over from the dog beach, you can see it's like, whoa, dude, this went from like 3 or 4 people to now there's like 50 or 60 people. And it's funny because
150 or 160. It's getting crazy, yeah, on weekends.
That's crazy, because that reminds me what the if we start on the north end of the island and go south, so we start getting into that first zone of Ocean City and the beach patrol. So that runs from Sea Spray, because Seaview doesn't exist. That runs from Sea Spray
right. Does not exist. It's the black hole of Ocean City.
It's rumored that it's there, but it's not there.
It's the fountain of youth.
So from Sea Spray to, now I just remember when I was there. So from Sea Spray to 5th Street, that was the first zone. And when I was there in the 100th year of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, that's where you stuck the new guys down in Sea Spray, Surf Road, Waverly, Atlantic. That's where the new guys were. And you had 150 people on the beach at best. Now you go down there and you have 200, 300, maybe 400 people on the weekend.
Yeah.
Sure. Those areas down there, Sea Spray, Surf Road, that's, it's becoming a lot more of a local beach. People that have kids now go down there. There's always a lot of kids from the island on those beaches. There's definitely kids who are from just over the bridge there as well too. Mm-hmm. So if we go right into our factors of how that section of the island kind of pans out, access to bathrooms, not really good. Closest bathroom is going to be at 1st Street. Ability to surf, you are close to Waverly where you can surf. That's a pretty great beach. I believe Ocean City stopped putting lifeguards on the surfing beaches now.
They did. Yes,
so they've become almost like unguarded, free-for-all diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
You can fish down on Sea Spray if you just go,
at the jetties. To let fish at the jetties.
Will they? I thought 5th Street's the only jetty you could surf on or surf fish on.
No, they let you fish at the jetties down there.
Yeah, I don't know. Try that one. Let me know if you get busted. They do have the catamarans down there on Sea Spray.
Yeah.
Surf Road does have a rinse-off station. That's something I think.
There's actually 2 a block away. Those new ramps that they built a couple years ago.
Yeah.
At Surf and a block away, whatever that is. I don't think it's a street end, actually. There are rinsing stations.
That's Waverly, the one that doesn't have the street end.
Waverly, yes, Waverly. Yep.
I think
no
that's
food though. The food, the closest to get food would be at North Street, which when I was a child, that was Richards. We lived on Battersea Road, and that was our beach, and it was Richards. Now it is the Sand House.
Yes.
And then you also have the newly reopened Express Pizza.
That's close by there. As you make your way north in the first zone, you start to get into the boardwalk, and you're into that, very northern end of the boardwalk. You have the 1st Street Lifeguard headquarters, which has bathrooms. Obviously, it has EMS. It has everything that you would need. It does have a rinse-off station as well, too, there. You got access to Brown's right there on the boardwalk for food.
Oves. Browns and Oves are in the
Browns and Oves are in that first zone. Oves is down off of what would be considered Brighton Beach and Park Place. Those are 2, traditional, hey, this is my beach type beaches. But the North End feel, I think each, like we said, you have this distinctive neighborhood, but each one of these zones has its distinctive feel. The North End, kind of reminds me of like the country club of beaches, if you want to put it that way. You have a lot of, it's a good mix of locals, summer, like whole summer tenants, weekly tenants. You have a good variety of Ocean City residents in that north end. It's a good mix. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's respectful. The crowds are usually pretty, you know, docile, I would say.
Yep.
You know, they're chilling, they're reading their books. You know, the kids are playing, digging in the sand. You know, people aren't blaring loud music or anything like that. They save that for when we get into the second zone. And that's when we're on the boardwalk.
So where's the second zone?
So the second zone would start, from what I remembered, would start at the surfing beach at 7th Street and go all the way to 18th Street.
Okay, so you're the heart of the boardwalk there.
Yes, that is the main area. It's got all your parking lots. It's got all your major attractions, all your amenities, everything that you could want.
Bathrooms?
Bathrooms at every block now.
Right.
Pretty much all the way.
Food.
Plenty of food. You can fish at 5th Street. You can surf at 7th Street. You know, other than that, though, you're pretty limited as to what you can do. You're definitely up to the discretion of the lifeguards and what they feel is best, because it's crowded down there. I mean, let's face it, 8th and 9th Street, in that area alone, you could have 3,000 to 5,000 people on the beach on any given day. And I'm not saying all at one time, but as the day moves on and people come and go, you know, you have a massive amount of people there.
Well, generally speaking, on any of these islands, the couple of blocks on either side of the entrance bridges are where the day trippers are going. Yeah. Generally speaking, right? Unless they have a destination, they've driven 2 hours, hour and a half, 3 hours, whatever they're driving, get to the beach. They want to get to the beach, so they'll get to the beach in as quick a time as possible. So they're coming off 9th Street Bridge. They're going right to the beach and finding a place to park.
Ironically, though, there are a lot of There we go. I was saying, Drew, sorry, my dog started barking. I wanted to mention this at the beginning. It's the first time my whole family's been home when we recorded. So I'm like, God, please, can they just be quiet for 35 to 40 minutes? But anyway,
you have Benny in the house, so that's a long shot.
It is, for sure. Man, that kid can talk. But again, thanks to the morning sports camp, he's a little bit wiped out. So, but no, what I was saying before I muted myself because my dog started to bark, was that I met a lot of families that would go to these beaches. That, you know, I met a few families that 9th Street was their beach or 8th Street was their beach. 8th Street is home to Earl. Earl's written a book, Earl East of the Boardwalk. He's been to the beach, God knows how many days in a row at this point. You know,
how many days is it? We should have checked that, because that's a huge number. He goes every day, year round, regardless of weather conditions.
Yes, he's got a whole setup. He's on 8th Street. He's usually, you know, if you're going to walk onto the 8th Street beach, come right down on 8th Street. He's a little to the south. You'll see him. He's all the way back by the dunes, right by the fence there. He's got umbrellas. He's got a whole setup to keep himself, you know, away from the elements if he wants to be. He's a great boogie boarder. He'll go out there when the waves are good. He'll put on his fins and he'll just kill it, crush it, catch all the best waves from the end of the jetty all the way in. 8th Street's become a pretty consistent surfing spot over the past few years. You know, all the local guys are out there for the most part.
And, you know, you have, if you want a snack or lunch, I mean, your options are absolutely unlimited. Right.
Yeah. And, you know, in this area, in this, you know, that 5th to 14th Street, when you get to the fishing pier, that's the lion's share of the people on the beach right there. That's where you're
Yes.
getting the most of the people. That's where you get most of your amenities, all that stuff. And that's where you get the loud, rowdy crowds, especially.
It's a different vibe than Zone 1, that's for
It is,
sure.
man. It is. It's a lot less reading books, a lot more, loud music, kids everywhere, people on top of each other. You're not getting your space. There's definitely very little beach etiquette, if you will. And
Yes.
that's something that
And
we
it's
could.
not good music.
It.
I'm just going to
Hey,
put that
listen,
in.
listen,
It's not 70s and 80s rock.
listen. It's no Jackson Brown. Let's put it that
That's
way.
the only good music, Dom.
So to each their own, man. Times have changed. Things are different. I'm not going to say what's good or what's bad.
Well, I just did.
You did. Personally, sometimes I go down there. It was funny. We were down on the beach in Wildwood, and totally different crowd down there as well too. And somebody's blasting their music. I thought it was my father-in-law. I'm like, why are you playing all this Spanish music? But it wasn't him. But you'll find everything down there
Yes.
in that area. Once you cross over that fishing pier, you start to, and you head a little further south, you start to get back more into that north end chill vibe where there's not as many people, a little bit more beach etiquette. You run into 16th Street where there's a surfing beach again. You can fish there as well too. You're running out of other amenities though, like bathrooms, food. Like you're getting a little bit further away.
You still have Bob's Grill at 14th. You still have Johnson's Popcorn, right?
Yeah. Farm stand is there too, I think.
Stand,
On
yeah.
14th Street. So the next stop down, though, when you get into the 18 to 34 area of Ocean City, is the third zone. So that goes from 20th Street all the way to 42nd Street. And here this is almost all weekly renters. Like you go to the beach down there on Saturday morning, there is nobody there because everybody is packing up, leaving, getting ready to go home.
Changeovers.
And then by the time the afternoon comes, the beach is slowly getting busier.
Give me those streets again, Dom?
So you're at 20th Street to 42nd Street. So
okay, so one of my favorite beaches is in the third zone.
That's right, 29th Street.
I have three. One is in the first zone, one is in the third zone, one is in the fourth zone.
Really?
So yeah, it's actually 29th Street Beach is a killer beach. You have catamarans there. There's guarded section, and then there's a free fly zone section where you can fish, you can surf, you can do whatever you want to do. And it's a big wide beach. It's a beautiful beach. Yes. And Kessel's Corner right down at 28th Street, Dom.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
If you're on the beach and you get a hanker for a cheesesteak, boom.
It's there, man. It's right there.
Or a milkshake.
That area really from 14th Street all the way to about 42nd Street. I'm going a little bit into the second zone. Those tend to be the widest beaches on the island. For some reason, if you look at the shape of Ocean City, especially the coastline, at 5th Street, it kind of sticks out into the ocean. And then the whole island kind of curves back in to the west. And for some reason, that area between, the fishing pier all the way down to 42nd stays relatively large no matter how much they dredge. Whereas if you go kind of north of the fishing pier, that area gets chewed up pretty quick.
Beat up pretty good, yeah.
I mean, they dredge this past winter, and that area is pretty beat up already. So,
yeah.
Surprisingly, though, the north end, Waverly, Sea Spray, Surf Road, that they're still pretty big.
Those killed the surf break, but the beaches are still in good shape.
There's some gems out there. I won't say where, but there's some secret spots out there that have been breaking.
We used to live in the third zone. We used to go to 32nd Street, which was a great beach. And 32nd Street, if you're not a local or native, the first day of school at the primary school, in September, everybody, the entire school just about, goes to 32nd Street Beach after school because it's still beautiful weather, generally speaking. It's September, and to kind of ease back into school, the kids go to school that day, and then all the kids and families go to the beach at 32nd Street.
It's a rough life here in Ocean City. It's a rough
And
life.
when my son was little, we used to go to 32nd Street, and we became friends with our lifeguard, aka lifeguard Leslie, and we are still very good friends with her.
That answers so many questions for me, Drew, because I always wondered how you knew Leslie Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because her older sister was my first girlfriend ever. So,
is that right?
Yeah, and then ironically, we ended up going to college together too. Not as boyfriend and girlfriend, but So I've known Leslie since, forever.
And her sister stayed down there in Florida. Yeah,
she did. She lived in Gainesville for a while. Her husband owned some of the bigger nightlife establishments in town. But I just saw her actually at the Ocean City women's races. My daughter's was in the Ocean City, the OCBP junior lifeguard camp, and she's all into it. She wants to be a lifeguard in Hawaii now. Her swimming, yes, she does. She wants to be a lifeguard in Hawaii.
That's funny.
She's got to learn how to swim a little better. Not gonna lie. Doesn't want to join the swim team though. But she said that Leslie said her sister finally moved away out of Gainesville. So good for her, because Gainesville's a town, to say the least.
Leslie Graham is the head lacrosse coach at Ocean City High School.
Yes,
took her team to the
very talented athlete
this year. So shout out to Leslie, lifeguard Leslie.
Nice. That explains.
So where does Zone 4 begin then?
So Zone 4 begins at 42nd Street and goes all the way to 60th Street. And, this area, the beaches get a little smaller. At least they did in the past. They did eventually dredge down there a few years ago. And I think it's held up pretty well for the most part. You used to have the iconic.
They dredged twice since Sandy, if you remember right.
Really?
South end of the island, those dunes were pushed through the homes and ended up on the street.
That was pretty much everywhere.
No, South end got it
good.
Worse on the island,
yeah. But that down there, that is, that's a nice little spot, Drew. You have a good mix. That's mostly either weekly renters or summer tenants or second homeowners down there. Families are nice. Lots of tradition down there in that south end of, hey, this is my beach. This is where I've gone forever. There's quite a few little good surfing breaks down there. Not a lot of access to food. Not a lot of access to bathrooms.
Right.
But you do have a lot more places where you can surf, a lot more places where you can fish. You definitely have a lot more freedom on the beach. You just don't have those amenities. That end of the island, though, is so narrow. West Avenue is 2 blocks from the beach, 3 blocks from the beach. So, it's not like you have far to go if you need to use the bathroom or are trying to get a snack or something like that. It's, I live on 8th Street and I'm almost a half a mile from the beach, about 600 yards from the beach. So, big difference.
You're right. We used to go to 51st Street, another one of my top 3 right there, 51st Street. Awesome beach. Friends of ours lived on Haven there. So big weekends, we just park at their house and walk. It's a quick and easy walk and get to a great beach. And that's the same way. There is a guarded area to the north, and then there's an area to the south of 51st that you want to surf, you want to fish, you want to do whatever you want to do. Still can't wear a backpack, but
still can't be there after 8.
That's right. But anything else you want to do, you can do down.
All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty then, Drew. If we would kind of explain each zone, what the vibe is there, First zone. What's your favorite beach in the first zone? And we know that Seaview does not exist.
Seaview does not exist. So in the first zone, I am going to say Wesley. Excuse me, not Wesley. I'm going to say Surf Road.
Surf
Surf
Road?
Road's an awesome beach, and I like being able to clean up a little bit before I head home.
That's a good
I like
call.
to leave the sand at the beach.
Very, very popular beach in the recent years. I'm gonna go with Brighton Place. I really enjoy Brighton Place. It's like I said, it's that good mix of summer tenants, locals. You got access to Oves right there. The 6th Street bathrooms aren't that far away. You can get to the surf beach. It's just a block away as well, too. You can fish off that jetty. So I'm going to go with Brighton Place in the first zone.
All right, zone
All right.
2.
Zone 2. What do you got, Drew, from 5th to 20th?
I'm going to say I'm going to skip zone 2.
You're going to say nothing in zone 2?
I'm not going to the beach in zone 2.
Wow. Now, I live in zone 2. I live on 8th Street. We used to call it the hate because it was just, you were there. It was just insane. There used to be 2 lifeguards on 8th Street. That's how 8 North and 8 South, that's what we would call it because it would get so crazy there with so many people. And
which is why I don't want to go in zone 2. I like to chill. I like to relax at the beach. I like my ride. I like to read my book.
Now, if you know, because there is a beach that is a diamond in the rough within that area.
I should dime you out on that beach, just like you dimed out Seaview.
Seaview Road.
The beach that will remain nameless.
Well, listen, you can do that if you want to. I give you permission to dime me out on that one. My neighbor might be a little upset with you because she goes there because she knows. And if you know, there is this one little area on the boardwalk where you can go, and it's kind of like a diamond in the rough. It's has a great view of one of the iconic landmarks here in Ocean City.
Don't give it away.
Hey man, I'm just gonna say that. You're not going to dime me out. You're not going to go eye for eye on me, Drew. I appreciate that. I will say this, though. My favorite beach in that second zone is 18th Street. I love 18th Street. My wife and I got married on 18th Street. When we first moved to Ocean City, we rented the bottom floor of a duplex on 18th and Central. So we we were right there. So a lot of good memories on 18th Street for me.
Nice.
So, third zone, Drew. We already know your favorite beach in the
28th Street. Boom.
28th Street. I'm going to go 39th Street. 39th Street is a cool little beach. You have a lifeguard at 39th Street, but then you have surfing, fishing, unprotected on either side there. So, you can have the lifeguard if you want, and then you can have free reign if you choose to. Only downside is there's not really much food around there. There used to be a great little beachside snack stand at 34th Street, but that's gone. Blitz's Market is gone now. But you do have Randazzo's and that new place that just opened up on 34th. But that's a bit of
old time burger.
Old time burger. Yeah. But 39th Street. And finally,
I like having that option of having guarded or unguarded.
Yes.
I like having access to that.
And then the last but not least, in the fourth zone, what is your favorite beach?
As I mentioned, 51st Street, the Pink House on the beach at 51st Street brings back great memories.
That is a good one.
Spent a lot of time on 51st Street Beach and love that beach. How about you, Dom?
I'm going to go with 50th Street. I like 50th Street a lot. Good families there. Made some good friends on 50th Street when I spent a summer there. Again, you got unprotecteds on either side, so you can, fish, do whatever you want. You have a long stretch of unprotected too to the north because you have the two streets that are there between, Saint whatever and
St. David's and I don't know.
Yeah. So, but those were
called Dougherty Way.
There you go. That works for me. But no, man, it's a great island. They're really isn't a bad beach on it. There's a flavor for everyone. So, those are our favorites.
And as you started the podcast with, Dom, I mean, every year Ocean City are perennial winners of some best beach category. That can't be a coincidence, right? That cannot be a coincidence. Awesome beaches in Ocean City.
No, you said it as well too in the beginning. It's why people are here. They're here because the beaches are beautiful, because they're clean, because they're family oriented. Because if you want to go to a more hustling, bustling environment, you can. If you want to go somewhere and chill and read your book, you can. And it's all right there.
And they're really good sized beaches. They're big enough where you have space, as opposed to a town a little bit south of us who will remain nameless, who the beaches are tight. I think they're very tight, but they're not too big. Like Wildwood, you have to get on a bus and transfer to a train and then take another bus until you get down to the water's edge. Those beaches are huge, and it's too big. I think our beach sizes are perfect.
And when you get down into Cape May, those beaches tend to have like a very steep slope to them. Into the water, so
like Delaware beaches.
Yep. All in all, Ocean City, between the environment, the actual beach itself, the quality, and honestly, what I think really makes Ocean City the best beach is it is the beach patrol. Thankfully, those guys finally got somewhat paid this year. When I started in the 99th year of the beach patrol, I made $7.35 an hour to, basically be responsible for hundreds of people's lives. These guys are now making some good money, but you can go to the beach and know that you're going to be safe, and that you're going to be taken care of if anything happens to you. Because, the ocean's a mighty thing. It's nothing to mess with.
It is.
And how about yesterday, man, when we bought our camp down there, we go down for football camp, and the next thing you know, there's 3 lifeguard trucks. There's a fire engine. There's a police.
Five police cars.
All at the end of the street. And we're like, what's going on? And, they're out there because, someone's in distress, and they're called, they're there like that. So,
and they saved.
They did. So hats off to the Ocean City Beach Patrol. And all the effort you guys
I'm glad they renegotiated their contract and got paid. And we'd be remiss without mentioning the increase in beach tag this year. So the preseason tag went up for a season to $30
from 20
to 30,
50% increase.
And if you were late to the game, they went up to $35 from 25. Now, what people forget,
the big kicker though is the day pass. The day pass went from $5 to $10.
Yes, $10 to spend the day on the beach.
That is, in my mind, Mayor, you got to really consider that one.
Well, wait a minute. But if you're willing to spend $20 to park your car,
you're not willing to spend $20. You have to spend $20.
You be willing to spend $10 to park your butt in a beach chair?
But you're not just spending $10, because if you're spending $20 to park, that means you got a family of 4 or 5 people. So you're spending $50 to put your butt in a chair.
Details. Come on, Dom. That's details.
Dude, that's $70 before, and that's before you even factor in your gas and tolls to get here.
But everything's, inflation is going.
I'm so tired of that excuse. Everything is going up. That's such a lame.
Well, we just talked about the lifeguards getting paid, right? They're getting paid more.
Listen,
how are you going to pay them if you don't increase your costs?
I don't know. Some of the other millions of dollars the city has, and who knows where it goes.
Well, I certainly don't want to raise our taxes. Let's get it from the guy who's coming down for the day, or better still, get it from the Airbnb guys.
100%. So how about instead of $10, how about $10, maybe $7 or $7.50, or $8 or something, but $10 for one person,
Well,
family of
they
four.
haven't increased the fees for I believe it was like 15 years.
But
So they're
still,
making up for lost time. Well, this is why I brought it up. I knew it should be discussed, right? It should be talked about, and I knew it was going to push your buttons.
listen, if you ask someday, if I ever run for mayor, every registered voting house gets 2 free beach tags. That's going to be my platform.
Chicken in every pot. I'm voting for you, Dom.
I appreciate
I'll
it.
tell you right now.
But listen, no, I mean, I don't know, Drew. It's a whole nother podcast. We can get into this one later about these increased fees here in Ocean City between the parking and the beach.
We probably should, because
yeah,
prices have gone up, and in a lot of
and people are feeling it. Like the local business owners are feeling it. I've talked to quite a few of them, and they're feeling the effects of this. And the problem is the city's going to love it because their revenue is going to go up. Their revenue went up no matter what, because now every one person that walked on the beach is 2. So it's and every person that bought a year-round beach tag is now 1.5 people. So city's gonna be like, hey, revenue's up. Revenue's up. Life is good. So,
why don't we table this
we will
conversation?
table this discussion,
and let's come back to this. We'll do an episode on this.
We 100% will, because I'm fired up about it, Drew. $10.
I knew you would be. That's why I wanted to push
$10 to go to the beach is just
I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I did that
fine.
to you. I'm sorry if anybody's listening.
Well, I guess we're even now for me diming you out in the beginning. Kier, I do apologize. I think my open access to Club Fasy has now been revoked. So my kids are going to be upset with that one for sure. But I hope everyone enjoys this weekend. The weekend here,
night in Venice.
I didn't say it, but we're at 38 days until
the countdown is 38 days.
38 days. You got 38 beach days left. So find your favorite beach. Get there early. Get there often. Get that sun in, because before you know it, bye-bye summer.
Not local summer, but that's a different conversation. Yep.
All right, everyone. Well, to all our loyal listeners, thank you for your support always. To all our new found friends, welcome. We hope you enjoyed, and enjoy your favorite beach in Ocean City this weekend. For the OCNJ Local, we're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
Peace out, everyone.